Years ago, when I was writing my first book, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I looked around at the kind of representation of bisexuality that I saw in media, it seemed that we were always either a punchline or a problem. There was some kind of negative association with finding out that someone you liked was bisexual, whether it meant that they were secretly gay, or that they were always going to cheat on you, or that they couldn't be trusted, and that was just the very few examples that there were. And I feel that in the years since then, we've seen the depiction of bisexuality really broaden and expand. I kind of think of The Pairing as my first post-COVID book. So much of the pandemic and all of that time was about isolation, about staying inside, and certainly about being careful about what you put in your mouth. And I really wanted to reconnect with the joy of eating and drinking and traveling and being out in the world and touching things and feeling things. And so I decided I wanted to write a book that was all about that. And what better way to do that than an international food and wine tour through Europe. And so that was kind of where I began, but I also knew that I really wanted to try a different kind of pairing than I had done before, no pun intended. And so I decided to write about two exes getting back together, and I knew that I wanted both of them to be bi, because I think that there are a lot of misconceptions about what it does and doesn't mean to be bisexual. There are a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of fear of stereotypes. And one of those stereotypes is that all bisexual people are promiscuous or slutty or whatever. And I think it's important to push back on stereotypes, but sometimes we go so far in the wrong direction that we almost treat anyone who is a slutty bisexual negatively. And I personally know and love many slutty bisexuals, and so I wanted to do this one for them and for me. The advice that I would give to young queer people, especially young trans people and non-binary people, both back home for me in the US and here in the UK, is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And throughout anything that happens, I hope that you can hold on to that truth, that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with the way that you express yourself or the way that you were made or the way that you feel most authentically yourself. And you will always be happier as that person than you would any other type of way. And anyone who tells you differently is absolutely full of